what a great run to see there. Can they in fact do it? That's Gregory Lambert and Julie Canepa, and I think they won't get through to first place, but they're certainly right there for a very good top three at this stage. And a little bit of drama, somebody a bit too wide on that corner. No, seems to be okay. In fact, it was Greg, because there's Pete the Pirate. Look at that, the two green machines have gone for the front. Fantastic. 42 and 99 to get a great start out there. So they are Drew and Andy respectively, and they've got a real good charge on this one. And yesterday, the most exciting race in sidecars we've seen for a long time is with the 42 combination of Drew Meyer and Alan Denovan out of Wellington on their mono short Yamaha 1000, courtesy of Motorcycle Suspension Specialist. And man, oh man, did they have it nailed and railed with an excellent run. They only got the second place in the end behind the 111 of Pete the Pirate, but in fact it was because they normally are back in those fourth, fifth and sometimes even sixth place, and to get up for a second was exciting. And their excitement was lived through the exclamations that they were showing later in the race, including not quite doing the planking that Robbie Shorter might have done, but it was close to it, with Alan Denovan almost standing on the back and cheering because he was waving his arms, he was whacking Drew on the back. It was such excitement and great to see. So here they are, the green machine duel, all on here at this stage. So great to watch as the 99 heads out, ahead of the 42 111 and Pete getting in there. And here's our letter L to come through with Gregory Lambert, Julie Canterbury out of the UK as well. They're in fact on holiday here in New Zealand. They've been with us since the Suzuki Series, so this is now their fifth event they've done in the last month. So man, they'll be delighted with that. That's probably as much as they almost do in an entire season back home. So they'll be rapt to get this kind of experience in. And then they're in fact going to go to the classic meeting at Phillip Island at the end of this month. Then they're going to come back to New Zealand before they depart and go home. They don't leave New Zealand till around about the 5th or 6th of February. So man, what a holiday they've had, and we're thoroughly enjoying having quality sidecar people with them like this. Spider Staples, my co-commentator, of course, former sidecar champion, and Spider, one of the biggest fields we've seen here at Timaru. Glamorous to see the kind of class both in looks and numbers we've got today.
Well, it's very tough to run the New Zealand Superbike Championships in terms of sidecars. What's happened up north with the Suzuki Series bringing up to, I think, about 8 or 9 teams in from overseas. A lot of people concentrate on that, but they still recognise this is still a New Zealand Superbike Championships for sidecars, and are recognising that fact as well. You mentioned Greg Lambert and Julie Canepa. I had a talk to them. They're just absolutely fascinated with New Zealand. I want to come back next year. They've extended their holiday not only to stay here and ride the bike on Pete the Pirate, has been absolutely outstanding, lending them a bike, but also they want to take one of our boys home, and that is Sheldon, who normally worked on the Barry Smith Tracy Bryan machine, and they've said they want to take him home. He's so good, want him to mechanic at the TT. While we're on the subject of Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, massive crash into the tyre wall last weekend. I know Barry Smith was watching yesterday. G'day, Barry. The important thing is he sustained neck and spine injuries. But they've sent him home, well not home, but back to Wakatani, or Tauranga, sorry, so that is good. Barry, get well soon, and the important thing is those injuries are not sustained, big enough injuries to stay down in Christchurch, so I hope you're right. Tracy got a few bumps and bruises, but she bailed out earlier as you're supposed to do. Now, Andy Scrivener leads us. Andy had a DNF with Tina McEwen yesterday with a bolt coming out somewhere, a rod end or something like that, but I'll tell you what, Andy Scrivener, 8 or 9 times New Zealand champion. We all go on about Andrew Stroud, 9 times Superbike champion. This guy's either got equal or one less, and he's always ridden short bikes compared with long bikes, and there was always a bit of I don't want to get on one of those, and he's struggled through the season, but this might be the coming of age on a long bike for Andy Scrivener. We're joined by his daughter Eve up in the commentary box. She came up and says, "Can we look?" Of course you can, Eve. It's great to see you down here, and hopefully the family's watching at home. So Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen. Tina is the wife of Gordy, who's on the 600cc bike number 19. I commentated all last weekend saying there was only one 600. I was referring to Greg Lambert and Julie Canepa hadn't picked up that there was a second 600. So, and that's another thing, the 600. Look at the speed of it down that straight. It's actually closing in and passing Pete the Pirate, who is the current New Zealand Championship points leader. Yeah, his own machine. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't. Oh yeah, his own machine. You're right. Yeah, I was trying to think there because when Greg actually looked around the pits, he said to Gordon, he says, "I owned that bike for 12 years and I got a podium at the Isle of Man TT," so he could come up and give him a few pointers there. So right at the tail end of the field, we've got Jared Winter and Kelly Winter on the number 35. This is a post-classic machine. This is about 30-something years old. Great to see them get back out there. And I think Kai Matesius restored it into the Egypt colours, went to a guy, Warren Winchman, and came back to the South Island Team 83. Warwick Timmicks owns this bike and has lended it out. So Looking for a positions on with 4 laps to go. We're halfway through the race. Andy Scribner and Tina McEwen there. Go through in first place. Drew Mayer, Alan Dillenburn from Wellington, another beautiful green bike there. Looks like Thunderbird 2. Same colours as Thunderbird 2 this team have picked. They are in second place. Third place, the letter L, Greg Lambert and Julie Canepa. They've gone ahead of Peter Goodwin and Kendall Dunlop, the points leaders. Chris and Richie Lawrence on the beautiful LCR, Louis Christian Racing from Switzerland, I think. Beautiful blue bike with a lightning bolt yellow down the side. 11, Warwick Dimmock's Wilkino from Christchurch there. In 6th place, Gordon McEwen, Jeff Davies, Dave MacArthur, Tony New. They've got 3 seconds off their personal best this weekend so far. Phil Munro and Steve McInerney and Jared Winter and Kelly Winter, Neil.
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with Pete the Pirate's bike, the Triple One. Hey, they were winners here yesterday in the race, and we've just watched them be beaten by their 600 and smaller bike with Greg and Julie, and I thought, well, that was unusual in itself. Now just to see the Lawrence brothers go past them almost like a hot knife through butter, so things not quite too perfect for the Triple One. Yesterday's winner, Pete Goodwin, and Kendall Dunlop is swinging on the GRR machine out there. So there we go. That's going to be a serious setback in their points assault of this. But what it has done is allow this man to win a race again. The first major win for Andy Scribner has come back to sidecar racing. As Spider has pointed out, multi-times national champion, knows how to race when we're talking about short chairs, long chairs. If you do have a look at the manoeuvrability, it's not just the size of the chair, but it's where the engine is as well. And if you look at that third place unit with Gregory and Julie on board there, you get an idea as they go past and what a short chair looks like. But 2 take an opportunity to head to the pits and see where the engine is mounted, so it gives you an idea of where they are. Now, a very interesting comment, because I've heard from 2 very good sources that, and we're wishing all the best out there to Baz, and I must say to lovely wife Karen as well. She's special to me, so Karen and Baz out there wishing you a speedy recovery. But in fact, comment was made, if Baz was in a short chair, he would have had much more significant injuries last week, Spider. So the long chair has certainly got exactly that, the longer nose, and just gave a buffer and a cushion effect to what could have otherwise been an even more serious accident. So the fors and against the long and the short, but certainly in that accidental case, they've diagnosed the machine, and I'm pretty sure they've come up with what is broken on it, because there was just no reason. That machine lost its steering and just went straight ahead at the corner. Nothing to do with Baz at all. And super swinger Tracy, who's here at the moment, she had the sense to realise what was going on and purposely rolled off the back of the machine, and luckily did that on the grass, so other than a little bit of a knock and a bruise and a skid marks, all she's got to show for it, and a lovely delightful lady with a smile on her face here today. So a good story as we talk about the negative side of a sidecar crash last weekend. But it's the green machines are back again with 99 and 42, and you've got to see it like it's matching shirts and it's the sponsors needed and it's all those kind of things. You won't see the big names or the big colours on board with this team, because they're doing it all themselves, and just lovely to witness. 99, Mr. Andy Scribner, multi-times hero of sidecar racing in New Zealand. And look at Tina. Now, when you get an idea when they go past on the Alpine Energy straight at the moment, that you don't even see Tina. You see, and look at Kendall as well. They're such tiny, petite ladies that they just tucked into it. And Spider, you've been having a look at our Triple One, and things not going too well for Pete out there.
No, I can hear through the commentary box that it is misfiring going through the start-finish line. Maybe they can get it sorted. The MC2 XS10 from Wakatani, legendary mechanics, but he does have another spare bike. He's lent his short bike, his 600 bike, to Greg Lambert and Julie Canepa, but he does have another spare bike in the pit. So Pete the Pirate and the team will be back out there in force, and he's had 3 New Zealand Superbike champion wins in his about 6-7 years in New Zealand, trying to chase that title. He won here about 4 or 5 years ago with Darren Prentice doing the swinging. He won the New Zealand Grand Prix last weekend. His first to admit it should have been Barry and Tracy's race, but unfortunately a white flag is out, and he won the last race here at levels of 2018 New Zealand Superbike Championships, and that was the race yesterday. Right now on the final lap, we've got number 99 lines up the back straight. Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, Drew Mayer, Alan Donovan going along the back straight as well, just 0.2 of a second slower, but a good 4 seconds down. Gregory Lambert, Julie Canepa. There is no trophy or points for Formula 2 bikes. There's not enough for the field, but that's an exceptional ride for the Gregory Lambert, who builds sidecars for a living, and Julie Canepa, who's a postie. Had taken 6 months off to race and a little bit more because she wants to go to Australia. I hope the boss is not listening and she hasn't told her yet. Chris and Richie Lawrence, Warwick Dimmock's Will Climo, Peter Goodwin, Kendall Dunlop there in sixth place. They will still get valuable points from that. Dave MacArthur and Tony New goes through there with Gordy McEwen, Jeff Davies on the number 19 machine, Phil Munro, Steve McInerney, and of course Jared Winter and Kelly Winter on that lovely 35 Egypt classic sidecar. There's Pete slowing substantially down that straight there because of course the checkered flag's come out. The checkered flag has Where we go?
Courtesy of Obsolete Iron Motors. They, of course, are your car and motorcycle service and warranty fitness experts, along with classic custom cars and motorcycle fabrication. There's a lovely classic vehicle display. They're home at 87, the main road in Pleasant Point. Of course, Pleasant Point's just a suburb on the outskirts of Timaru here. At Obsolete Iron Motors at gmail.com. The home of the twin-engined Triumph motorcycle land speed record attempt of Honourable in 2016. So bring it on, Obsolete.